friends, my name is Naomi. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my August TBR, and that's wild because I feel like I just did my July TBR, but here we are. So there's a few things going on in July. So my good friend Jan from Agaton is hosting her first readathon, like solo by herself. It's the Full Moon Book Club Readathon, and I'm so excited. I have my TBR sort of picked out, so we'll see if it sticks, but that's happening. I have a couple buddy reads, and then I have like a secret TBR video, but I'm just gonna say what it is because the theme is super obvious. So yeah, those are some of the books, and then I have some rollovers from July. So I'm gonna go through the rollovers really quickly because I talked about all of these books in depth in my July TBR. So yeah, I didn't get to a lot of the books that I wanted to in July, and here are some of them. So I did not get to Yolk by Mary K. Choi, and I want to sometime in the summer, so August is still summer. And if you don't know, this one is pretty much about these two sisters who don't really have a very good relationship, and then one of them finds out that she has cancer and they try to mend their relationship. It sounds very, very sad, and I'm here for it. And yeah, I've heard nothing but amazing things, and I adore the spine and this cover. And this was in my July TBR, but I did not get to it because I honestly only read like 6 books, maybe 7, and most of them were for Summerween, so yeah. I did not get to Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is a sci-fi, don't know much about it, so I wanted to get to some romances in July, didn't get to either. I did not get to Book Lovers by Emily Henry, but actually my friend Isa from Rare Shine and Sean from Sean Connolly asked me if to buddy read, and we might be buddy reading this together in the month of August. Did not get to the Spanish Love Deception either, and I'm really, really stoked to read this actually, which surprisingly, because I don't love romance. But this one's pretty much about this girl who has been pretending that she has a boyfriend and she's very much in love, and she's invited to this wedding in Spain, and she has to bring a boyfriend because her whole family has been expecting like introduction from this mysterious boyfriend. So I don't know how, but she gets this man to pretend to be her boyfriend, and I'm assuming that they fall in love. I usually am not one for like fake dating tropes, but this one sounds super interesting, and the fact that it's set in Spain, like I want to leave this for the moment that like I visit Spain one day, but I know it's not gonna happen anytime soon, so I'm just gonna read it. And then the last book that is rolling over from the month of July that maybe I'll get to is All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. And this one's pretty much like a Hunger Games knockoff from what I've heard. It's let me see again because I keep forgetting. So it's this remote city, and there's 7 families, and in the blood moon they have to like pick a champion, and they all fight to the death. Very Hunger Games. I know that my friend Liv from Liv's Library said that this is like way too close. Like it feels like some scenes were copied from the Hunger Games, so we'll see how I feel about this book. But I do love the Hunger Games, so I don't know. If it gives me those vibes, maybe I'll like it, but we'll see. Alright, so next up, I'm gonna talk about buddy read. Okay, so I talked about Book Lovers already. That's one of the buddy reads that I have going on this month. And then the next one that I have is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. This book has been all over BookTube, Bookstagram, you name it, it's there. And this one, it's just like a romance book. It's summery. It has to be read in August. There's no way that I'm reading this in any other season that it's not summer. And I'm going to be reading this with Jordan from Sorry Booked Solid. I saw this, I think, on one of her videos. It might have been a TBR or something, and I was like, let's buddy read it because I really want to read this book. It sounds amazing, and yeah, I'm just here for like summer I turn pretty type vibes. Like, we'll see. I know it's not that, but it sounds really interesting. Okay, next up, I'm gonna talk about Jan's Readathon. Let's do that. So Jan's Readathon, where's the information? Okay, yeah, so the Full Moon Readathon, it's happening in the month of August. I don't have the dates in front of me, and I should just get the YouTube video up. Let's go, because I don't want to. This readathon means too much to be half-assed about it. Come on. Janella, where are you? Get that coin from the ass. Get that coin from the ass. Why is it so loud? Jesus. Okay, so the Full Moon book club readathon. Full Moon readathon. I don't know why I keep saying book club. Why are you in frame? So the Full Moon readathon, it's running from August 7th through August 14th. Go watch her video. She's doing reading sprints. There's a graphic. It's very cute. So basically the graphic, I'll put it on the screen, and I'm about to pull it up on my phone too. So there's like 4 little characters, and you can choose one character. I'm gonna be extra and double up on prompts and try to get all the characters. So there's like a witch, there's a bat, there is a ghost, and there's a wolf. So you can pick one character, and there are 3 prompts. You do have to do them in order because like crescent moon to half moon to full moon, like there's an order, there's a process. So yeah, you have to do it in that order. I'm gonna try my best. So I have a couple books that I want to read for it. I'm gonna try to mood read, so we'll see how that happens. Okay, so the first prompt for The Witch is a book that involves magic. So for that one, I want to read A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik. I texted Jan and I was like, you know what's really funny? That I'm going to read this book for your readathon, because she hates this book so much. So she's like, I hope you like it, but honestly, I hope you don't like it either. So I'm choosing this book. We'll see. We'll see if I like it. I really want to read it because Naomi Novik wrote Spinning Silver, and that's like one of my favorite books of the year so far. And I want to try another book by her that's, honestly, it's in this TBR. I'm not even gonna lie, it's in this TBR. But yeah, this is the book involving magic, and A Deadly Education, it's pretty much like a dark academia. It has to do with magic. And then the next prompt for The Witch is a book set in autumn. So honestly, I could read this one if I wanted to, because this is set in a school year, so I'm assuming there's a fall like portion in there. But if not, I do have this manga Orange by Ichigo Takano, and I've heard nothing but amazing things. I've tried starting this once before and I just didn't get through it, honestly, but I don't remember much. I don't really know what the story is about, but I know it's about like these students in school, and it's sad, slice of life type of book, so I'm excited to get to it. And this looks kind of autumn. I think there's an autumn season in here, but I honestly couldn't tell you. So if you've read this and you can tell me, please let me know down below. And then the last prompt for The Witch is to make your own brew. And yeah, for each character there is kind of like an activity prompt. So those are simple. I'm just gonna make a coffee probably. So the next character is a bat, and for that one, the first prompt is a book with black on the cover. So honestly, I could do A Deadly Education once again. And then for that one, the next prompt is a dark academia book. Again, A Deadly Education could be used for this. And then the activity prompt is to post a picture with an all black outfit, just like Jan. And then moving on to the ghost. So the first prompt is to read a spooky book. So for that one, again, I could go with A Deadly Education because I'm assuming this is pretty spooky. But also I have another book that I wanted to double up, and that is for the next prompt, which is a book by a dead author. And I'm going to attempt to read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I don't read classics. Have never read this book. Again, I don't read classics. I did see Noelle from Noelle Gallagher read this book recently, and she was raving about it, but like Noelle is so much smarter than me, so why am I pretending that I could enjoy this? But I couldn't think of any other dead author. Like, I don't know. So if you have a recommendation, please let me know. And then the last prompt for the ghost is to watch a scary movie, so we'll be doing that. And the last character is the little wolf, and the first prompt is to read a book with an animal on the cover. Again, there's a little serpent on this cover, if you can see it. Right there. I think it's a snake. I hope it's a snake. And then the next prompt for the wolf is a book that you got as a gift. So for that one, honestly, I could read Orange if I wanted to because I've got that as a gift. But I really wanted to get to Uprooted by Naomi Novik. And this was actually gifted to me by Hannah from Hannah's Recent Reads. And this one has a bird on the cover. And this could also knock out the prompt for the Involve in Magic that was earlier on mentioned. Got as a gift. Other things, the animal on the cover. We shall see. I just have to plan it out because of the order of things. So we'll see about that. And then the last prompt for the wolf is a cozy photo at night. So again, I will be doing that photo prompt. But yeah, those are literally all the prompts for Jan's readathon. Like I said, you can just choose one character. You don't have to be extra like me. But I mean, do you? Okay, and another random book that I want to prioritize this month is We Are Inedible by Gail Forman. And it's pretty much this like little hopeful story about this son and his dad, and they're pretty much losing their bookstore, and then the whole community kind of comes together to help them, and he meets this girl, falls in love. It's a very like small town type vibes, I think, and it's set in a bookstore. Honestly, reading this for my yearly challenge over at the Loganberry Broaden Your Bookshelf challenge. So it's like a yearly readathon type thing. Or like just a readathon that runs all year long, it's what I'm trying to say. But this is for one of those prompts, so that's why I'm trying to prioritize this book also. And then besides that, I'm hoping to do a little secret TBR, which is not really, because when I mention these books, you're gonna notice the trend. So I'm gonna do a video where I try to reach all of my challenges on the Book of the Month app. So I've never gotten like a tote, or like I've never really achieved any of the challenges on the Book of the Month. So there's like the Darling, the debut challenge, and if you read a certain amount of like debut novels, you get like a ring, and it's just satisfying, and I just want to get all of those challenges completed. So I'm gonna try to read a whole bunch of Book of the Month picks that I have been collecting dust. So yes, that's pretty much the whole point of the video. I just want to feel satisfied with my Book of the Month challenges. But first off, I have the Magnolia Palace, which is a historical fiction. As well with this secret TBR thing that I'm doing, it's going to be a lot of mood reading because I have all of my Book of the Month picks in front of me, but I'm not gonna read all of these for that video. That would be a very long video. But the first one, like I said, the Magnolia Palace by Fiona Davis, historical fiction, all set in like this hotel, and I'm hoping that it has like very Downton Abbey vibes, but I honestly have not heard anyone talk about this book, so I have no idea. But inside of this, it says it's set in the Spanish flu outbreak of 1919, and it follows this 21-year-old Lillian Carter. And yeah, I think it's set in New York, so it sounds super interesting. Next up, I have a book that I can't believe I haven't read yet, and that is The Maid by Anita Prose. I'm really stoked to read this because I just finished Finlay Donovan is Killing It, and I feel like this book is going to give all of those vibes. So pretty much this one follows this maid, and she finds a dead body in one of the hotel rooms, and she's being blamed for this murder, and she has to figure out who did it, so they stop blaming her. So yeah, this sounds really fun. Next up, I have the Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. Don't know much about this one, but it is a thriller set in like 2 different timelines and POVs and stuff like that. But I've only read one book by Simone St. James, which was The Broken Girls, and I really like the format of it, so I'm excited to get to this, but I haven't heard great things, so I'm scared. Next up, I have Darling Girl by Liz Michalski. Kind of scared. This is a Peter Pan retelling, and again, I haven't heard great things. Elizabeth from Ponytails and Paperbacks did not like this book at all, so I'm kind of scared. But like I said, Peter Pan retelling is supposed to be much darker. There are some trigger warnings, I believe, in the front. I believe reading that somewhere. Okay, so I don't see any trigger warnings inside the book itself, but I believe seeing some trigger warnings somewhere for this book because it's supposed to be like super dark. So this is, like I said, a Peter Pan retelling. The next one I have is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. Lucy Foley wrote The Guest List, which was one of my favorite thrillers like a couple years ago, I think now. And I don't know much about this one, but it does have like, it has like a big cast of characters, and it's all set in this like Paris apartment. And I'm here for the vibes, but like haven't heard great things either about this one, so yeah. I don't know what's going on with Book of the Month and these pics. Trubus by Sarah Novik. This one, I know that it follows a deaf character. Plot-wise, no idea what this book's about. Yeah, it seems like this is going to really follow like the deaf community and just politicians and like doctors and other people trying to tell deaf people like what to do with their bodies. I took ASL for a couple of years and I learned a lot about the deaf culture and the wrong things that I guess that like society thinks about like deaf culture and all of that. So I've learned a lot about the deaf culture, community, and all of that, so I'm excited to read this. I loved Switched at Birth. Also, if you are learning American Sign Language, watch Switched at Birth or any movie that has like sign language. Obviously a TV show, it's better because you get more of it, but I learned so much just by watching Switched at Birth. So if you're trying to pick it up, kinda, it's a good show to watch. Also, it's just really good. But I heard that this is going to become a movie, so I'm stoked to read it and just learn more about the deaf community and culture. I'm really intrigued to know whether or not the author, it probably just, it says it back here, huh? So the author is an instructor of deaf studies and creative writing. It doesn't seem like the author themselves is deaf, but they may be hearing. But I don't know, I'm really excited and I wonder what the deaf community thinks about this book and if it's accurate. I mean, the author does have like a degree, but we'll see. Another book that I'm super excited to read is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Savin. And this one pretty much follows these two friends. I forgot their names. Sam and Sadie are like besties in college. And I guess they design like this video game. And I'm assuming they like rise, like they just become famous like overnight type thing, and it's supposed to be like a really long timeline, like many years. It follows them for many years from college to like when they design this video game and everything. I don't know if there's like a love story between them or what happens really, but this sounds super like interesting and just something so fresh and new, because I feel like this to me reminds me of like Evelyn Hugo kind of, but like video games, and that sounds so interesting. So I'm really excited to read this one. This is probably gonna get read for that video. And then the last book that I have here is The Golden Couple by Greer Hendricks, Sarah Pekkanen. Have not heard great things about this one either. I'm scared, but this one's pretty much about this marriage that is just like failing, and they start seeing this therapist, and I'm assuming that this therapist just becomes more involved than they have to be in this couple's life. And I'm assuming it's just about like this golden couple that looks perfect on the outside, but they're just going through a lot of messy stuff. So yeah, okay, so those were all of the books that I want to read in the month of August. So again, I can't believe that it is August and we're here and we're filming this. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you're reading any of these books, because I mentioned that I have some buddy reads, but if you want to buddy read any of these books with me, let me know. Alright, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!